It's October and Keeneland is back. Let's dive right in. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Pick 5 Players Show. I'm your host, Michael Pellerin, aka Horse Guy Mike. And today we're going to be talking about the Pick 5 all graded stakes Pick 5 at Keeneland this Saturday, October 7th. Really great card. Happy to be back at Keeneland. Last round of preps before the Breeders' Cup. A lot of big Breeders' Cup horses are entered this weekend, so hopefully we can get a clearer picture of what some of those races are going to look like. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start in race 6, leg number 1, the grade 2 Woodford going 5.5 furlongs on the turf. So I went a little bit deep here. Last year we had a really good horse win this race. I believe Caravel won this race. This is her kind of coming out party. And so we'll start with the number 4 horse, Eyewitness, 20-1, Jose Ortiz, Wesley Ward. This horse ran at Saratoga last out, going 5.5 furlongs. Got third, kind of came from off the pace. Not what this horse's style is. This horse likes to be closer to the lead, and I think in that specific race, just didn't break well, was kind of shuffled back, still made good headway coming towards the front. 2 back at Belmont on a yielding surface in the Paradise Creek, going 7 furlongs, went from 4th to 5th up to 1st, was able to win that race. That wasn't 7 furlongs, but 2 back, also won by 5 lengths in kind of a gate-to-wire fashion, was sitting second just off the leader, but was able to power home. So if this horse is able to break cleanly this time and sit either just off the pace or in that mid-pack, 4 or 5 position, good potential here. Wesley Ward, Jose Ortiz, it's a good combo. And you're getting 20-1 on this horse. So that would be a great way to start this card. 20-1, Eyewitness, definitely one I want to be including. Moving down to the number 8 horse, R-Shot, Tyler Gaffalione. I love Tyler Gaffalione anytime he's riding on the turf at Keeneland. I think it's a great combination there. This horse ran back at Saratoga back in September, got third by a neck. This is Gaff's first time riding this horse. It was previously ridden by Castellanos, by Saez, by Sammy Camacho. So jockey change could be something this horse could take advantage of. Got a 94 Brisnet last out, 2 back on a 97 Brisnet in an allowance race at Saratoga, won that race by a head. Another horse that wants to be more forwardly placed, sitting either on the lead or in 2nd or 3rd place. I think has a big chance here. So one I want to be including, who's going to be close to the pace. Next up, we're going to move right to the outside. Number 9, Coffee Maker, 12-1. Luis Saez, another Wesley Ward horse. Wesley Ward, we know, runs a lot of these sprint turf races here in Kentucky. Last out, we got a 96 Brisnet at Saratoga, won by 2.5 lengths. 2 back, 84 Brisnet, won by a length and 3/4. So that was at Churchill. So one at Churchill in May, one at Saratoga in August, coming back here in Keeneland in October. The layoffs are kind of weird, kind of big stretches of not racing at all, but consistently runs at 5.5 furlongs on the turf. So we know this is this horse's preferred distance. Wesley Ward running his fillies against the males, always a big shot here. So that 96 puts it right above where the rest of this field is. One I want to be including here, number 9, Coffee Maker, 12-1, also a great price we're going to be getting. And then moving to the outside, the number 11 horse, Beer Can Man. I'm a little biased. I like this horse because I bet him to win on the Pimlico card, on the Preakness undercard. It had a great win there for Phil D'Amato. Hasn't performed as well coming back, still putting up good numbers. 95 Brisnet 2 back, 92 in the Green Flash at Del Mar last out. So I love when I see Phil D'Amato sending his horses outside of California. I always think that's a great sign. Sending him to Keeneland to this prestigious meet instead of keeping him in California and training up for the Breeders' Cup. I think it's a great spot. Had a really good workout, 4 furlong, sharp 4 furlong workout. Speed's there, performances are there. Even that, second place finish 2 back in that allowance race, got a 95, 92 last out. So these are the 4 that I'm going to go with. I've got 2 kind of bigger prices and then 2 of the shorter, more likely choices. I am fading the favorite here. And that's the number 2 horse, Live the Dream. Not a big fan of the long layoff for that horse coming coming off of the win in York in Europe, and that was at 5 furlongs. Coming over here off of that, so kind of iffy with these Euros coming off of a win in Europe, having a long layoff, and then first out here. Could be the best of the field. I don't know, but I see this more as a prep and a tune-up to just get them used to American racing before the Breeders' Cup. So that's why I'm fading the favorite and going 4 deep here against. Moving on to the next race, the Grade 2 Thoroughbred Club, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for fillies and mares. Went 2 deep here. The thing about this race is there wasn't a lot of horses here that I felt were graded. Ugiri was one who just seems like the most obvious choice, 2-1. She won her last race by 3 lengths with 100 Brisbane at Churchill Downs. Great figure. If she runs anywhere close to that, none of these other horses stand a chance. The only horse here that's even slightly interesting to me is the number 5, Happy Soul, at 8-1 for Wesley Ward and John Velasquez. And the reason is because this horse has been running on the turf for a long time. Hasn't run on the dirt since October of last year at Keeneland in this same race. So I think switching back to dirt is going to give this horse a really good shot. Got second in that length, pretty well beaten, but still got second in his last lap in her last turf race or last dirt race, and then switched to turf. I think the return to dirt is a smart move by Wesley Ward. And so as kind of an unknown factor, you're getting a good price, 8-1. Could the form turn back? I think so. I think Ugiri is the most logical shot here, but Happy Soul is the one I want to include just in case something happens. Next up, we're going to be going to leg 3, race number 8, the Grade 1 First Lady, going a mile on the turf. I didn't want to get too cute here. I think An Italian is the best turf filly in the country. I know she got beat last time out by White Beam. I don't know if that's going to happen again. I mean, White Beam won by a nose. You could have run that race 100 times. I don't know how many of those White Beam would have won. I think Italian's going to get another good pace set up here. There is some pace pressure, especially from the number 1 horse and the number 6 horse, but they're both long shots. They're going to fade. I think An Italian is going to be set up to do exactly her race and is going to be poised to go to the Breeders' Cup. So either single White Beam or single An Italian. I'm choosing An Italian. I think she's got more experience. White Beam's really on a good trajectory moving forward, but Chad's going to be happy either way. Maybe the number 1 horse. I don't know. But again, I don't think Chad's going to want to pace pressure his own horse too much. So going to go with An Italian here as the best of the field. Moving on to leg 4, race number 9. Grade 1 Claiborne Breeders' Futurity, going a mile and a 16th on the dirt for 2-year-olds. We've got some interesting horses here. And I went 3 deep. And usually I wouldn't like to do that if I'm going with the favorite, but I did pick 2 longer shots to go with the favorite. The first one I'm doing is number 9, the Wine Steward, with Luis Saez from Michael Maker. This horse has undefeated, broke its main back at Belmont by winning by 6 lengths. Followed that up at Ellis Park, going 6 furlongs with an 87 Brisnet, winning by 2 3/4. And then followed that up in Saratoga in the funny side, 97 Brisnet, won that race by a head. This horse is undefeated, perfect 3 for 3, with improving seat figures every single race. The only big question here, and you're going to get this question for a lot of these horses, is can it handle the longer distance? It's a big jump from 6 furlongs to move up to a mile and a 16th. But most of these horses are facing that same issue here. So don't see any issues with its progress so far by Vina Rosso. Vina Rosso, as we know, won the Breeders' Cup Classic a few years ago. So I think Vina Rosso is poised to be a surprise stud moving forward. And I think the Wine Steward is going to be one of the ones that's going to surprise us here. And at 8-1, you can't ask for a better price there. Let's go with the number 6 horse as well. Generous Tipper for Brian Hernandez and Kenny McPeak. This is another horse coming off a big win at Ellis Park. Broke its maiden, got a 91 Brisnet, won by 7.5 lengths. Very impressive race, and that was at a mile. So has experience going longer than some of these other horses do. And by Street Sense, who great sire, took some time to break its maiden. Actually debuted on the turf, and I think that was just because those were the longest races that they had at the time. All the dirt races were like 5 or 6 furlongs, and it seems like Kenny wanted a longer race, so tried him out on the turf, didn't fare well, came back on the dirt, had a close second, and then followed that up with a really impressive win in that Ellis Park maiden race. So generous tipper, especially at 15-1, you're getting a great price for a horse with a 91 Brisnet last out. And then moving on to the outside, the favorite in this race, the number 9, Locked, for Jose Ortiz and Todd Pletcher, absolutely blew the field away last time, going a mile at Saratoga, 105 Brisnet, won by 7 lengths. Right back out, 2 back on a 91 Brisnet, got a 3rd place behind another horse in this race, Just Steel. This horse looks like it could be a monster. It has that experience going a mile, so has the experience going longer. I think this horse is probably the most likely winner. Generous Tipper at 15-1 and Wine Stewart at 8-1, I think, are good choices to play with them in case something does happen. And as I singled in Italian, and as I will be singling the final leg, I do feel comfortable going 3 deep here. All right, and the last race, I'm going to be singling the number 1 horse, Master of Season, the Grade 1 Coolmore Turf Mile, going 1 mile on the turf. Master of Season is just incredible. Woodbine Mile, won that, was its first race here in North America. Won that by 3 1/4, almost 4 lengths. You get James Doyle, Charles Appleby. Charles Appleby has been on fire these past few years, shipping his horses to America, prepping them in either New York or at Woodbine to prep for the Breeders' Cup and having big races there. So I think Master of Seas is your most logical choice here at 2-1. Up to the Mark is the best turf horse in America, but I don't like the long layoff here. And this seems like a prep race for Up to the Mark. We want to get him in form and in cycle for the Breeders' Cup to see what's happening there. And it's weird to say a Grade 1 is a prep, but he's going to be facing good competition here. He's going to be coming from off the pace, moving fast. I just don't see how he's going to be able to beat a horse as good as Master of the Seas with this long layoff coming. It could happen, and if it does, more power to him, and I'll be playing him in the Breeders' Cup. But I'm going to be going with Master of Seas here. Set Piece is another one who is interesting. Won the Arlington Million by 2 lengths with a 97 Brisnet, so really impressive win there. A lot of good horses in this race. English Bee, who we love, Atone, Annapolis. I just think Master of Seas is going to be the single here to finish out the card. And luckily, if we make it this far, we can play some saber bets here. But Master of Seas singling here at the end to finalize this race. All right. With that said, we have 2 singles here. And with race 6, we're going 4, 8, 9, 11. In race 7, we're going 5 and 6. Race 8, we're going number 3. Race 9, going 1, 6, 9. Race 10, going 1. I don't know if it's $18. That might have been wrong. Let's check. 4 times 2 times 3 equals divided by 2. It's actually $12. So pretty cheap here. We might go ahead and bump that up to a $1 base, make that $24. But best of luck to everyone this weekend at Keeneland. Having you back at Keeneland, racing in Kentucky is always great. Keeneland's one of my favorite courses here. And we're getting these final prep races in before the Breeders' Cup. Go ahead and make sure you like and subscribe down at the bottom. Follow along on Twitter at HorseGuyMike and at Trust the Profits. Take care and enjoy your weekend at the races.